r/AskReddit created by routinereddit. Right from now your need for sleep is gone. You can now stay awake till your eventual death without any consequences. How would the extra time that you get from not sleeping affect your life? Well, seeing as I use my free time to sleep, you've essentially screwed me over. You can still close your eyes and do nothing, which is what I do during the daytime anyways, so I guess it shouldn't be that hard. Resting my eyes, checking my eyelids for holes, is what my grandfather used to say. My favorite is, got a bug in my eye, I'm trying to suffocate it. But now I'm stealing this one to say to my kids. I just call it a power nap. It sounds like I'm doing something way more intense than what I'm actually doing. Power focus, power meditation, counting holes 56, 57, snore, grandpa, 114, 115, stealing it. Well, the title is Your Need for Sleep is Gone, and you can stay awake without consequences. One of life's simplest joys is a good nap. From the way the question is phrased, I reckon it's allowed. It's a joy, because it's a need. I guess if you don't need it anymore, it would be like trying to sleep when you have insomnia. But trying to sleep when you have insomnia sucks, because you need to sleep would screw me over as well. Sometimes I get sick of the current day and just want to go to sleep to get the current one over with and start a new one. One massive day seems kind of hellish in a way. Fellow depressed person chiming in that no sleeping sounds like an absolute nightmare lol. Agreed. Just one constant bad day that doesn't end. There's occasionally good stuff peppered in there, but I would go insane. I would to sleep is my escape from how miserable I feel when I'm awake. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe for daily Reddit videos. I'd probably get a night shift job outside of university so I can make money on the side. I'd work maybe 4 to 5 hours a night so I have extra free time too. I wouldn't be able to say I don't have time for the gym ever again. Assuming that I'm not eternally exhausted by the lack of sleep, so assuming I feel awake 24/7, I'd be far more productive and would have more time to do things I want to do. At the same time, I wonder if the lack of a break caused by being switched on all the time would ruin my mental state. I really appreciate sleep for the break from reality it offers. I'm not sure how I'd fare without that, or if I'd be able to find a good substitute. This is what I was wondering. If you don't suffer from the exhaustion, or how your body clock should function, I'll be banging gym and track and field at 3 in the morning. Without any consequences, he said. Yay, do people not read? You can now stay awake till your eventual death without any consequences. It's literally in the opus. I think it's pretty clear mental and physical restoration from sleep is included. He also said, until your eventual death. Now, if I were making a deal with the devil as it were, that phrase would send up a red flag for me. Under the phrasing, it could be true that you feel absolutely no ill effects until the moment you keel over and die at the normal point someone would die from exhaustion. The expression, the flame that burns twice as bright lasts half as long, could be apt here. It's most likely just a wording mistake from Opus. He probably just meant that you'll be awake until you eventually die in any way at all. You could always meditate. I know a lot of people who have trained themselves to meditate for hours. It's not quite like sleep, but it certainly resets your brain and leaves you in a state of calm. Basically, we are changing from human to elf and only have to meditate for 4 hours during our long rest. I think it's more of a Warforged thing. You just sit still on alert for a few hours. Could be wrong though. Classic WoW rank 14, here I come. I could get through my Steam library of games I've never played, but got on sale for 75% off. But in reality I just keep playing the handful of games I have hundreds of hours on already. Same. Curse my love of open-ended sandbox games. This was me in college. Saw a good deal on eBay for some highly rated game called Morrowind. Didn't really know what an RPG was, but seemed like a fun way to spend some time over winter break. 4 months later I emerged from my room having barely slept, showered, or eaten. And they tell us time travel is impossible. Do I try this new game or Skyrim for the 1000th time? 5 minutes later. Hey, you're finally awake. You watch the intro every time. What sort of monster are you? Hey, this guy watches the intro every time. You can skip it? I'd settle for just hitting 60, lol. I had a dream last night that I finally got 60 on my Tauren Hunter in LBRS. Then I woke up and remembered my 27 warrior is still questing in Hillsbrad. I'd spend a lot more time lying awake in bed thinking about my failings. Me every night. You know that happens me too, even in the shower, but sometimes I'm like screw it, let's freaking think about it. Yes, I said something terrible at the date, and yes, I was blinded by my feelings, but in the big picture it's nothing. What I said wasn't even that bad, and if the people around me haven't left me for it, I shouldn't bother myself. Our stupid decisions is what's making us unique, because everyone can act like perfect to others if they stop being themselves. You've also grown. Now you know to never do that stupid stuff again. Stop blocking it out and just accept it, because it's probably not that big of a deal to anyone. Dang, that's a good attitude, my dude. Attitude. This is exactly how my therapist taught me to deal with panic emotions. Often you repress feelings out of fear the panic is going to escalate. As soon as you entertain the thought and essentially challenge your own brain and say bring it on, let's think about, you get over it easier. Worked for me at least. I kept pushing ideas to the back of my head without actually allowing my brain to understand that they're actually okay. Depends if my kids still need to sleep. If they do, I might actually get on top of my life. If they don't, I'm even more royally screwed. Don't you dare insinuate that this amazing fantasy scenario could be ruined by the kids not needing sleep. The highlight of my day is nap times. I used to have an OTV rule for mornings, so by the time nap time came around they'd been running about all morning, and now we're eager to sit still. About 20 minutes into a show, they'd usually fall asleep. Took a long time for it to dawn on one of them what I was doing. I'd also gain about 20 minutes a night not having to set 100 alarms 2 minutes apart. The trick is to make them recurring, so you only have to spend one night setting 100 alarms 2 minutes apart. I'd do this, but my job works me random days all different times, so I sleep whenever I have time to. For me, I have an alarm every 5 minutes set to off, and I just turn them on when I need. Google Home Mini. I just shout morning noise and it responds accordingly. Beep beep beep. Agmorsozi. Okay. I'll be back in 10 minutes. I have one too. I knew the first time I used the alarm, I was in trouble. I can snooze my alarm without moving or really waking up. Guess I'm just late now. It's amazing how difficult it is to think of the word snooze at that time. I just end up shouting random nonsense words until one works. I had this problem all through high school. Then 2 days before college started I said screw it. I went to bed at 10 and put my phone on the other side of the room. Took like 2 hours to fall asleep, but with 8 hours of straight sleep and being forced to get out of bed to turn the alarm off worked wonders. As long as I go to bed before midnight I can always get 7 hours of sleep and it works great. So yeah, my advice is 1. Move alarm away from bed. 2. 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. I did this too, but I found it annoying to have to get out of bed just to turn my alarm off and go back to sleep. I'd get a job beside uni and have some extra time for video games and meeting people. Overall, it'd be great. People would be able to step up from the 105 awake hours to 168 h per week, and it could all be used on efficiently completing various tasks and errands. Streamlining life. It basically gives 2 extra days for no cost. It'll take that. Well, there is a cost. You will probably need an extra meal per day to compensate for the extra energy you are burning. So I get 2 extra days *and an extra meal without getting fat? Where do I sign up? I mean, that's pretty neat. I just don't want to pay for it. How much do you think it would cost? You wouldn't buy an extra 2 days every week for the rest of your life for the price of 2 meals? Edit. 7 extra meals. True say. Still, though, how much is a meal? Even if you go to the higher end of what it could cost, add 50% to your life, £4/$100 per week. I'm doing it. You could buy budget meals, just eat basic rice and lentils, or whatever, if money is an issue. I would still sleep tbh. Not having to be aware of my thoughts is my favorite time of day. I like my thoughts most of the time, and I like being awake. But I also 100% believe that not having a reset every day would drive a person insane. When you have a really bad day, at least when you go to bed it's over, and you'll feel a little better in the morning. If life were one unending day, that would just be too much. I'm gonna answer for about 90% of the people here. Video games and masturbation. Or just sleep anyways, because it's less time spent being awake. Do something about that notion. More space in my room, because I don't need a bed. Beds are still nice for sex. This is Reddit. Edit. 4k likes. Wow. And 2 silvers. Never knew a cheap giggle could make internet strangers send fake medals. That make me feel fuzzy. We live in a society. Bold of you to assume I have sex. That's what the sex couch is for, and it's in another room. Bold of you to assume we can afford multiple rooms.